right. Well, since we have a motion on the floor and a concern, let's go right ahead.
I had one change to the May 1st minute. Commissioner Wagman's name was left out of the list of attendees.
Is that simple enough, Ms. Thorne, to correct? Can we accept the minutes with that stipulation of correction?
Yep, we can handle that.
And it doesn't need to come back to us. So would the person making the motion like to stipulate that correction?
I so stipulate.
And is the second agree?
Yes.
So all in favor of accepting May 1st, 2024's meeting minutes with that correction, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
So it is accepted. And following Mr. Depo's suggestion about summary minute acceptance from May 23rd down to the March 5th, 2025 meeting minutes, let's consider a motion on block of accepting them. Can I have a motion to that effect?
Accept them all.
Do I have a
A
second?
second. That one.
So we have a second to accept all these minutes with any corrections. Do we have any comments or concerns? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye, us. Okay, great. Thank you very much. New business. We have the post-construction application for historic rehabilitation tax credits for 160 West Main Street, TC 2302. Ms. Thorne, would you like to introduce this to us?
I'll borrow the mic. Thank you very much. Okay, so a little bit of background. We'll zip through. November 14th, Tim Kyle, property owner and applicant with the West Main Street Westminster LLC, referred to as the property here, applied for his pre-construction tax credits, and on I'm zipping around, sorry. Upon staff review of the application, it was awarded to proceed. In the commission granted preliminary approval for the amount of up to $5,034.30, consistent with City Code Section 143-5B. On February 25th, 2025, the applicant submitted a post-construction application for the historic rehabilitation property tax credits in the same amount of $5,034.30. The proposed eligible work was completed within 24 months after the commission granted the preliminary approval for the historic tax credit. I'm wondering if I'm missing some pages because I'm looking for all the, here we go. I skipped a paragraph. My apologies. Upon staff review of the application, all of the work was completed as approved. The eligible work under Roof Right, David Penn, and Sam Moeller estimates were accepted. You'll find in your packet that they are there as paid. There are also pictures included in the packet, and staff recommends that the commission review the post-construction application and other documentation provided by the applicant for 160 West Main Street to determine whether, number one, the completed work is eligible work and in accordance with our preliminary approval for the certificate of eligibility, and that the requested amount of $5,034.30 is acceptable. You'll find there are draft motions available for you, and our owner is available, Mr. Tim Kyle, if you have any questions.
Thank you, Melissa. Mr. Kyle, do you find what Ms. Thorne presented to be clear and accurate as to what has happened? And do you have any additional things you'd like to share with the commission? All right, well, let's start off with a motion. I would suggest a motion to be number one.
I move that the Historic District Commission, upon finding that the completed work is eligible work and in accordance with the preliminary approval of the certificate of eligibility and the requested amount of $5,034.30 is acceptable, approve the post-construction application for historic rehabilitation property tax credits TC-23-02 and forward the historic tax credit certificate of eligibility for TC-23-02 to the City of Westminster Department of Finance.
Do we have a second? Second. Any discussion? I drove by, Tim. Holy mackerel. What a wonderful job. I hope you put a little gold star in their foreheads. Because Melissa and I went through that building previously. Before you took ownership. And it could have only gotten worse from what we saw. Plus, it's the first building, well, not the first, but one of the first where they wouldn't let me go up the steps, even though I wanted to. It was a resounding absolutely no. So I gotta say, wow. Could you possibly submit them and they can be added to this? It's not a requirement, but it would be really good for the documentation of the building since it doesn't get documented really anywhere else. Mhm, mhm. Interesting.
Remember the old summer kitchen with the farm?
Yeah. So I would love that documentation to be submitted, to be attached to this. It's not a requirement, but it is just a matter of keeping the record full. Oh, thank you. So, any other questions from our commissioners?
Very nice.
Are we ready for a vote? All in favor indicate by saying aye. And there be no opposed. So it's passed. And thank you so much. You really, it's sort of like I always feel so good at these. You know, we're done and a really good public service has happened where a piece of our history's been reclaimed. Thank you. All right.
Just to share too, moving forward. So simply share with me when you have paid your taxes. And we will have a reimbursement check following that.
City, the county's already set the. Yeah,
Okay, right. You could send that one in. And we could look into the amount for that. And if our budget would allow to pay this fiscal year, we'll do it. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Tell your friends this isn't so horrible. I always want people walking away thinking, I will tell the business owner next door when they have a problem that we can help. So, thank you. Oh man, that's another one I've been through that it's a little scary. Well,
Just trying to get things buttoned up.
invite us out because we're always interested in. Mhm.
Because you have certain tradesmen who really like.
Yep.
Same color. Hold still, it's kind of back. Too crazy. It's hard to bring someone in when you know you want this guy to do it and you bring someone else.
Yeah,
Same.
it is. It's always very, very difficult, but
First thing we're gonna do is.
fantastic. I cannot wait for the invite for Melissa and I to come and see. Um,
Suspension bridge is still.
Man on to see what we. Then you come in.
When I drove by it just like less than a week ago, it was still there, or most of it. Mhm.
Bill was running, what gets me, that bill was running with an 80 tax.
Wow. Wow. Well, it's had a lot of national attention. The Society for, Old Mills, SPOOM. Are you? They've met there before.
Weekend, he was. That's an Oliver Evans bill. Do you know anything about
Yep.
Same as the home state.
Elon Musk.
Wow. Oh, man, we look forward to it. All right. All right.
Cool.
Just remember, think about things in 2-year chunks. And you can't do everything all at once usually. And you can do something and then ask again. It can be in less than 2 years, but each piece can be only 2 years long. So you just kind of plan out what's now and what do we need. Look forward to it. Thank you. Thank you. You bet. All right. Tonight we move on to old business. Having none. The next thing we can do is look towards the implementation plan. And I'm wondering how we're doing, Melissa.
I'm so excited to share. We're moving along. So our legal team has looked at RFP, and I sent it down today to the gal who takes care of the bid procurement. So she moves pretty quick. So I would assume we'll have a date by tomorrow that I could share with you all when we're going to be advertising and putting it out. Bids will be due. So I'll be turning that around to our state partners to share with them our progress. We're a little bit behind our timeline, but we'll double check with them and make sure that that we can still get it done in the time. The end goal is November. That's when we're trying to be wrapping it up. So we're going to be moving around a lot in support of this project, and I look forward to working with you all on it.
You know, yeah, the question is how long we should have the RFP out for. And I feel like if we don't have it out a month, if it's only 2 weeks, that's an indication to folks that it's rigged. So 3 weeks to a month tells everybody that you don't have a preferred contractor in mind. 2 weeks just implies that there's already someone waiting in the wings. That's just sort of my experience. Do we have any questions from our commissioners on this? Okay, fantastic. All right, let's move on to talking a little bit about the national 250th anniversary. And we'll start with our normal list. How are we doing on signs, Mr. Depot?
I brought them here. So what I noticed is online, I ended up accidentally putting the bid up. I'm sure you saw that. So I actually there's 3 pieces of paper. Did they include, let's peek real quick. Okay, so maybe this is the only one you need to see. See how this one has it on the bottom? That's similar to this. And this one has it on the top. That's like that. So if you guys want to kind of pass this around and look, we have 4 different views of possible signs. They're all very similar. They're black and white. And Mark, you haven't seen this either, so we'll get it to you and perhaps the audience to look at it. We're just looking for your feedback on that. We'd love to move forward. I mean, you can share that as well. Essentially, we did take feedback and we kind of pitched it back to them. Does any of this look like something you would want to see entering in? You love it? Okay, I'll pass the baton down and maybe everyone can comment.
I can make a choice right now out of those. What do you guys think?
I think the more simple, the better. So,
Meaning which one?
Label them 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, write something in there.
Well,
Put a check.
Right, initially.
Yeah. I'm just going to do top 2.
What do you think,
I was just
Kathy?
afraid I'm so- Ranking that.
Oh, okay. I thought was, okay,
I was just saying.
okay.
What does Kathy like?
Well, yeah, what do you like?
I think I like number 4. I like that one.
Yeah, that was my initial,
Let me see.
that was my initial guess,
Gonna get
but
4 different votes.
Could be.
it's simple. I like the simplicity of it, but that is the logo there. But I think if you get too busy,
I like that one too.
yeah.
Can we all go with number 4?
Depot?
Not really. We're going along so well.
I mean, unless the city seal's big enough where you can actually see it, then I don't think it's.
So let's take a motion. So we can have it on the record that that's our preference and let the city consider it. Do we have can we ask for a motion to support option number 4?
I make a motion that we support option 4 of the sign designs.
I second the motion.
Any discussion? What do you think, Mr. Depot? I think they're super classy. Oh, he knows how to stay out of hot water. Thank you. So, any discussion or concerns?
Assuming the price is comparable on all of them.
We'll let them take care of that. Do we have any audience comments?
Would the city seal be big enough if you're driving by? Would you at least be able to see the seal, or is it just gonna be a blur of colors?
That's my only concern is that when you're driving by, it's gonna be pretty small. Are people gonna recognize it?
Maybe if we got the proportions, like the sign is this big and the little medallion
on it.
the medallion or whatever is this big. I mean, I think they're all nice, but I think that if it's the ones that are more simple are the ones that are gonna be able to, like, you don't have to sit, you're gonna just.
I think driving, you're going to have a tough time with most anything. Walking, however, you'll see them all.
That simple one has a scrolly thing underneath, and I think it does have the emblem underneath, doesn't
Yep.
it? Yeah,
Yep.
so. Nice.
Mhm. All right, it's on the floor for number 4. What do we say?
Can I see it?
Sure.
I mean, I do like that one. I like that one. They're both, 4.
Still sticking with number 4?
See, double man. Okay, so. Say, it's number
Because I
3.
like the scroll at the top, but
Number 3 is just the reverse of number 4. So I could go with either one of those. I don't know, like what you
like,
think.
number 4, I think, is the cleanest. And
Yes.
again, for people driving in, which is really what it's aimed at.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be the easiest to see.
And if you're walking, you can still see that.
So this is that.
The same.
Mhm.
Okay, and then that's a no.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I think that one, because you have the scrolly thing, which looks for, and then you have the seal, so. And it's easy to see.
All right. Well, it sounds like we've come to a consensus, all in favor of number 4. So it's accepted. Number 4 is our recommendation. And we leave it to the city to figure out how to pay for it and all that. Thank you. All righty. Well, that's one thing down. Okay, how about anything new about the street signs, the actual street signs? Nothing new. Okay. How about we don't have Grace for commemorative plaques. Did she send you any? She didn't send anything to me either. Okay. Well, I do have something new about the a different sign that's not one we're supporting. Belle Grove Square is ongoing. We have yet to get that project actually up and off the ground. I'm sure a proclamation in May will be easy enough to achieve. Since we do have that on our schedule.
We do. However, there was discussion about the proclamation itself. If it would be better to focus one proclamation together on we're anticipating the 250th, we're planning the 250th, or if we should just do them separately, one for May Preservation Month.
Several ones specific. I think it's jumbled, I think. The question would be when So if we do, when will we expect to do what the 50th? Would it be January timeframe or kick off the year? Or is it like at the time? And that's the other thing too, if we have events, would it make sense to have a proclamation of the 50th of August to kick off the event as well associated with it? That's why we thought two separate ones would be.
So in my mind, two separate ones would be better because the May Historic Preservation Month is definitely coming up. It's got in March. It's happening and we're on the board, I think, or already for a proclamation with the council. So I don't want to mess up that timing. For the 250th, I think it would be perfectly acceptable to do it around July 4th, 2025 and give it a year ahead. Even if we have an event or no event, you know, just saying, hey, it's now 1 year mark and we're getting ready. What do you think, commissioners?
That makes sense.
Two?
People get lost in, preservation month, have a standalone,
All right, great. Well, let's work on that then, with that in mind. Help us remember we agreed to that by consent. Yes. Yeah, last year I think I was there by myself. So it'd be great if everybody was there. And do we have that date still, or can you send it out as a reminder?
There's always so much great things happening in the city. So the goal was to get the May Preservation Month on the April 28th agenda. So I had reached out to our city clerk about that, but it has yet to be confirmed. So I can confirm when it's confirmed.
Okay.
So he knows sooner than I do. Yes.
Sounds great. Sounds great indeed. Okay, fantastic. All right. So we have another item to add to the completion list with the signs. So that's good. Okay, we can now move on to the Historic District Commission and public comments. And we're going to start with Ms. Beatty.
I don't have anything to add.
Comments?
So actually I do. As of today, I got a notice about the 250th plaque that we're planning to put up in the Westminster Cemetery. And this is just an update on progress. And again, it's the Westminster Cemetery, so that's completely different from the city. It's a private nonprofit. But as a matter of working together, I thought you all would be interested. Give me a sec. I have to find this notification I got. Here we go. So I understand from the SAR representative that I'm working with that the application was indeed submitted now to the national level. It's currently in their review. It's got a little hitch in the get along because there's a lack of burial documentation. And that's because these patriots, the three of them, were buried in the Westminster Cemetery before there was even any kind of deeds or anything. They're not really on any kind of list. So there is no record of the date of their burial. We have what's on their headstone of their date of their death and birth, but not, you know, any other kind of burial information. So it's sort of giving the national guys a little bit of a heart attack, but our cemetery wasn't even officially organized or incorporated till 1864. So that's a long time after the Revolution. And that's the earliest records. Deed number 1 went out in 1864. So these particular burials from servicemen of the Revolutionary War, unfortunately, were never written down. So not all the churches even still exist. And the one church that has the best set of records has said, no, they don't have anything. So at any rate, they're making certain that they have everything else they need for proof of service because there is record of their service and that they're from Carroll County. And actually, Kathy, you did the research for me for these three. So thank you. So I'm hearing stay tuned. So, um, do we have any comments from city staff?
Sure, I'd just like to share next month we'll be holding our annual chair and vice chair elections. So be thinking about that for next month. We'll have that on the agenda. And also, I just wanted to make note of we did discuss one of our implementation plan updates as far as our inventory project, but also tonight everyone has a copy of the implementation strategies with there is a column for HDC responsibilities. Please take that with a grain of salt. Those are just suggestions to like move us forward. There's also thoughts on staff responsibilities and elected responsibilities and others. But maybe not assigning homework or anything, but just take a look at that. And if you have feedback, this is where the commission had voted on this. And just to me, if there's something on here that you would like to pursue, just share that with your chair. Chair will put it on the agenda and then move forward working towards that. So that's it for staff.
Sounds great. You got the mic.
Okay. We have been moving along well with our state funding of Project Restore 2.0, and we'll be filling 2 vacant buildings. So the one that we had looked at, 71 to 73 West Main Street next to Rock Salt. Patrick McGrath came in a few times with his Danielle came in, and have you seen the building? Because they're moving along with the exterior. So the outside of the building has been being improved, and then the inside has yet to be. So that's sort of the next step in the process. So we're looking forward to that, getting that done. We're hoping mid-year they'll be well on their way, if not completed. They put the addition on, and then you're right, they haven't touched the front yet. So technically they are. They're working on the side. Siding will come next. So we're kind of balancing at the staff level, trying to help with the grant itself and the timing of getting funds to help push that project along. So this is what keeps me up at times, but we're working through it. And across the street is 66 to 68 West also. So he's looking to put in 2 new businesses over there. And so there'll be one across the street with 2 apartments. And then I'm not sure what else I should share yet because it's sort of balls in motion on that side of the street. It is moving forward, and he came to you all previously for tax credits and facade monies for the brick and mortar repair. So he's looking to have that scheduled now that the weather has opened up. And we're doing progress meetings. Yep. We're happy to help however we can. Yep.
Application, or was that a previous
Which application? We'll chat. Yep. You can ask. Oh.
For facade improvements, also the siding on the side, just get feedback. And across the street, that full strip is owned by the same individual. Well,
Almost
3
all
of the
this.
buildings,
Yep.
all chopped down. Project Restore, final.
Mhm.
So we follow the concept. That's why it's taking a little bit longer because
It's such a large project. It is nice. Yep. So across the street, he did not actually fill out an application for any of those funding projects. Correct. Although he did through Project Restore, but it's going to match what he shared in the discussions here. So.
vertical side, horizontal side.
Not confirmed yet. Not confirmed yet.
That's why he not get tax credits or side.
It might. We've had a few conversations. I'm not sure if you've had an updated conversation, if that's changed, but I think he might. Okay. Yeah. So we will see. Yeah, they'll see it maybe before we do. You never know. But we're really excited about that, and we're still looking for another opportunity to fill a vacancy with some additional funds through that. It all has to get done by the end of the year, so we're having fun.
Okay, great. Is there any other comment from staff or public?
50,000 we got for facade improvements, with the most we've ever received, has all been allocated by the historic district rather quickly too. So I think that's a good sign for Westminster and the state to show, especially with Melissa, who really brought that back and fixed it and getting those funds being spent. I think that has a lot to do with why we got. That's just
Good
stuff.
job. Good job. Good job. All righty. Well, if there's no other public comments, then I'll call for adjournment and thank everybody very much for their attention and time. Thank you.